The last video I showed you how to duplicate all of your pictures so that you could work on them and go through the book. And you can see the film strip along the bottom. I've actually done some of the changes, and although these are pretty small, you can see the actual changes from the image that I created versus the original one. These will show up better on the contact sheet, but I want to show you working on this one, for example. If I click on it, you can really see the changes that took place versus the original picture. The next one that I'm working on is the curves, and here is the image with my initials on it, and here is the image that is the original. What I'm going to do is just double click on this. I changed the settings so that when I double clicked it would open up in Camera Raw, and here it is, this image open up in Camera Raw. You can see the clipping that's kind of taken place in some of the darker parts of the image. What the book has us do is click on the tonal curve, and that's the second button over where you can see the levels box area. If you've ever looked or worked in any program that has used this levels box, you're familiar with it. If not, it could be a little confusing. What we have is we have the two tabs up here. The point tab is the one that I have chosen. The curve selected is linear, and what we want to do is change the channel. We're going to select the red channel, and this is going to change all of the red colors. What Scott is having us do is click 3 times on this line, and you'll see a little box appear. That's 1, 2, 3. And then what we need to do is click on this and drag it upwards. You can look at your image in the book, and that will show you how far to drag the top box up and the bottom box down. You can see if I drag really far, you can see the changes are pretty incredible. But what I'm doing is just simply following the image in the book. So that is changing the red colors. If I go up to the channel and choose green, I'm going to do the same thing, is click 3 times. And then I'm going to slightly drag this top one up, slightly drag this bottom one down, leaving the center intact. And then I'll choose the blue channel. And in that, I drag this top line down, and I drag this bottom line up. And that gives me the changes that he's wanting us to make. Now, the other change that we can do is go to our preset channel and change that to the mega contrast that we did just a little bit earlier. So now that this image is changed, you can click on the preview button to show what it originally looked like and what it looks like with those changes. And with these done, and I want to save this change, I can simply click on Done. And then if I go back to Bridge, I can see the changes that I made in the image versus the original image that's next to it. Now, one thing is, when you do double click on your image, if you make all of these changes that you go through in the book, and then you click on Save Image, if you get the save options to save in the same location, which of course you've already selected the folder of Chapter 2 in the Scott Kelby images, and you save the file name feature as just document name, it's going to save it exactly as it was. And then if you click on save, and watch the extension also, because if the file extension is different than what you currently have, it will save a copy of that as well. But if I click on save and click on cancel, it's processing that image. Now when it's done and I go back to Bridge, you notice that I have two copies of my image. I have the exposure one, and then because I clicked on save, I now have another copy of that, and it added a -1 after that image. Well, I don't want two images. I just want the one that I did. So I'll click on the one that was just created, and I'll do a right click and I'll say move to trash. And that way I've just got my two images. So what I've just showed you is how to click on done when you've completed the image, and that way you've got your revised image versus the original image, and how to, if you click on save, that it actually creates a duplicate copy. So for our purposes, we'll want to duplicate the images, batch rename as I showed you in the last video, and then when we make a change to the image here, we'll just simply want to click on done. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for listening.